Why buy your next vehicle from Community Motors of Mason City?
Great service from 3 locations. Community on Monroe, Community Motors Westside, and Mason City Ford. 10 new franchises and hundreds of vehicles to give you more choices. Plus, Community offers an exclusive 3-3 warranty on pre-owned vehicles and 10-year, 250,000-mile warranty on new. Need more reasons why? Stop or visit CommunityAutoGroup.com.
'Cause nobody beats a community deal, nobody.
It's Tuesday, March 27th, and it's time for the Sarah County Board of Supervisors regular session. Item number 1 and item number 2 on the agenda is the agenda for today and the minutes of March 20th.
Mr. Chairman, I move the agenda and the minutes of the 20th.
Okay?
I'll second it.
Okay, we got a motion second to approve today's agenda and the minutes from March 20th, regular session. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye, opposed? Motion carried. Is there any old business? No old business, moving on to new business. County engineer, we'll start with Mary this morning. How are you this morning?
I'm good, thank you. Report on secondary roads, the guys are out blading. Saturday, we closed 130th Street east of Mallard. It appears maybe a tile has failed and there's a sinkhole next to a culvert, so we've got that one call to do some further investigation, see if we can get that repaired and hopefully get it open by this week or next. And that's pretty much what they've got going on, blading and getting rock on the roads, touching up some of the softer spots. Next on the agenda, we have quite a few things today. For your consideration, I have 2 bills from the Iowa DOT, and what these are for is for our 2 federal aid projects we had last year. One is in the amount of $1,900.43, and the other is in the amount of $500.13 for our bridge by Doherty and our bridge by Norris Springs. It's the materials testing that the DOT has to do. Sometimes we get samples of rock and we split the samples of rock and they have to run it to show that we correlate and that we're doing our tests right. The federal government requires it, so you guys authorizing this and approving it just allows the DOT to transfer money from our farm to market account into their DOT account to cover these bills.
Do we do this all over, or do we do this just in Doherty?
Federal aid projects.
Okay.
And then sometimes like local projects, if we feel we need some additional testing from the DOT, we may do it. That's usually just local aid, but these are for federal aid projects. And it's just for the Doherty Bridge and then the bridge over by North Springs.
Yeah, I was thinking we hadn't done too many bridges.
Okay, I would so move in favor of authorizing the transfer and the signature on the testing to do with the federal funding of the bridge projects.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion and second to authorize the transfer of funds. One is $513 and the other is $1,099.43 for material and testing. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of said motion say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, Mary, next thing.
The next item on the agenda for your consideration is a resolution to embargo 2 bridges. WHKS had come across these 2 bridges during their routine inspection and determined that they needed to be posted to 3 ton apiece. And currently they are posted at 3 ton, but it cannot be enforced until you guys pass the resolution. So if somebody were to drive across it overweight right now and it failed.
Where are the bridges located?
One is located on 230th Street, east of John Quill, in section 34, township 96, range 21. That's just west of the, it's west of the Alliant Energy Plant on 230th Street. The other one is located on Xenia Avenue, just north of 140th Street, just north of Doherty, a few miles.
Is that any kind of a shared with the county? I mean,
That is shared with Floyd County. So if we replace that one, they would participate 50%. And I've already let them know, so
Okay.
he's aware that it may be coming. I'd like to wait and see until
Sure.
WHKS finishes all their bridge inspections to determine what the need is everywhere in the county, so we can move it up.
Would that be something we would do a couple years down the road then?
Well, if we could maybe, I've got these sized, I did the hydraulics on them, and I've got them sized for a single box, or for a box culvert.
Okay.
We could order those precast culverts and then place them ourselves, possibly, if we're interested in moving forward with that.
Okay, what is your wishes?
I'll move in resolution, in favor of resolution number 2012-36 for the postal weights to restrict the designated bridges that Mary so stated.
Second resolution 36.
Okay, we had a motion second to do resolution 2012 number 36 to put an embargo on a bridge on Jonquil and one on 140th Street. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor said vote resolution, say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
All right, the next item I have on the agenda. I was approached by a couple people over in the Oakwood area about some erosion problems on the public approaches next to the lake. I have worked with David Knoll in the past on helping get some funding, and he found a source of funding in this winter. We did a couple of those approaches. I have the pictures in a packet I had left on your desk of Maple Approach. We had a concrete culvert outlet structure, and it was starting to undermine, so we set some erosion stone there. And then also on the Elm Approach, there was some erosion there. And I had provided you with after pictures too, so you could see what it looked like. The project cost,
The project's completed.
the project, yeah.
Yeah.
We
There was
did it
before
this
and after
winter.
pictures, I see.
They had to drive out on the ice, so they did it this winter. And David Knoll with the Clear Lake project helped us get 50% cost share. One stipulation is you have to maintain it for 20 years. Well, we're gonna have these approaches for more than 20 years, so that shouldn't be a problem. The total project cost was $4,668.60. And so 50% of the cost share, they will reimburse us $2,334.30. Once we have these agreements in place. And the DNR had let quite a big project up in McIntosh State Park, so after they had let that, I talked to the contractor and he gave us the same price. And it was a fairly good price, so I guess for your consideration, I have there's two forms. One is a form saying we've read the agreement and that this is what we agree to be paid, the $2,334.30, and then the other form is the maintenance agreement, and it just says we will maintain it for 20 years.
Okay. It looks like they did a nice job on it.
Yeah, they did.
At this time, I'll make a motion to approve the cost share and have the chairman sign wherever appropriate.
I'll second that.
Okay, we got a motion and second to approve signing a cost share contract on some stabilization on the shoreline in Clear Lake for $2,334.30. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, moving on down further.
All right.
Item number 5, it looks like.
Yep. The next item on your agenda is an agreement with the DOT and the Union Pacific. It's one of those standard agreements for federal aid dollars to install gates and lights at 310th Street east of Highway 65. There is some brush and visibility issues that you don't have a clear sight distance. And a stop sign has been posted for the eastbound traffic because of that. So I think, actually this application was submitted by Jim Witt and it's finally getting approved for funding, so it's been a while. The county is required to provide 10% of the match, which is roughly $20,000. The total project cost is estimated at $200,000. So I guess it would be my recommendation that we move forward with it.
Okay?
That's a large crossing there, 310th, it's multiple tracks.
No, I think it's one track. They might have some sidings.
I think that's how,
Further
yeah,
north.
and it comes right off that housing development.
Okay.
Yep, I make a motion to approve the agreement between us, the DOT, and the Union Pacific.
Okay, I'll second it.
Okay, we got a motion and a second to approve an agreement with the DOT and the Union Pacific on gates and lights on the crossing on 310th Street. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Moving on to item number 6, consider a 5-year program and budget for submittal to the Iowa DOT.
You guys have gone through the process submitting or approving the county budget, and the DOT requires us to submit a budget to them, and 5-year construction program, which is the same as what I had at the township trustees meeting. So it's just a formal action, so I can send this down to the DOT to satisfy that requirement. The budget's the same and the program's the same. Nothing has changed.
Okay.
As I had shown it for our budget and for the township trustee.
Motion to approve the 5-year program and budget for DOT submission.
Okay, I'll second that.
Okay, we got a motion second to approve the 5-year program and budget and that we have and submitted to the Iowa DOT. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. I think we'll skip number 7 and do number 8. The public hearing for the resurfacing of S14.
Would you like a description?
Sure.
Okay, it's approximately 7.5 miles of cold in place recycling and resurfacing. We did the portion south of it last year, and would just be an extension of where we stopped last year. It's from B55 north to almost the Ventura city limits, almost just short of that, so we can do that box later. And then there's 3 culvert replacements and 1 culvert repair that we'll be doing. I think that's about the gist of it.
Okay. Any questions for Mary? At this time, I'll open the bids. The bid.
What's it?
The bid.
It'll be interesting with the fuel cost to see where it comes out.
Okay, here's the bid bond. Looks like that's in order. Looks like we have only one bid. Looks big. The total bid by read this right, is $1,908,219.38.
Can you read that one more time, Bob?
$1,908,219.38.
Coming from Heartland Asphalt.
Coming from Heartland Asphalt. Yep. They're the only bidders.
We did send that to Maffey Construction Company, Manats, and then Knife River as well. So we did send it out to 4 bidders, and then it was publicly advertised at the DOT.
What was the estimated cost?
$1.85 million. So it is.
So it's a little over. It's been a while since we really went over it.
Yes, it has.
So my guess is the fuel has generated additional costs. So I'll take a look at it and review the bid tab for you and the proposal guarantee and make a recommendation for next week's meeting.
Okay. There we go. Is there anything else that we need to do for that?
Public hearing.
Okay, this time we'll open up the public hearing for the resurfacing of S14. We didn't do that, did we?
No, not.
We should do that.
Yes, we should.
Okay. At this time, we'll open the public portion of the hearing. Is there any discussion?
Mr. Chairman, hearing no comment from the public, I make a motion to close the public portion of our hearing.
Okay?
I'll second that.
Okay, we got a motion second to close the public portion of the hearing. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. We do have the bids open. I'll turn them over to you, and we can move on.
All right. The last item on the agenda.
Okay?
250th Street, we've been working on that. The design is almost complete, and we've been working on the right-of-way acquisitions. It's an existing 18-foot road. And as you know, Ventura is doing their portion, so we're trying to get our quarter mile done when they're doing theirs for cost savings. And to bring it to today's standard, it needs to be 22-foot wide. It needs wider shoulders. So we needed to purchase about 17 foot of additional right-of-way on each side. And I had provided you guys with an aerial showing the approximate right-of-way locations on each side of the road and the project limits. And then there is an acquisition plat. There's 3 parcels we need to acquire, one from Thomas Bonanke for 0.49 acres on the north side of the road. And then the other parcel that we have acquired on the south side of the road is Marcus Uni. For 0.43 acres, and then there's a Linda Olson that we're still communicating with. She's a winter bird. She goes south for the winter, so we're still working with her. And I don't foresee any problems there. We came to an agreement with Tom in the amount of $4,127.76 plus a $100 fee we give them to bring their abstract up to date. We've always done that in the past for a total amount of $4,227.76. And then with Marcus Young, we came to agreement of $3,180.71 plus the $100 title or abstract update charge. And then he also has some fence that he has currently at the existing right-of-way that would need to be moved back. We've contacted the contractor that put that in to get some cost estimates, and we would pay him $3,908.40 for his fence, so he could hire the contractor of his choice and put it back in. And then he's to have that done by May 31st.
Just for the record, 250th Street actually is the old Highway 18.
Yes,
That extends out to the west of Ventura.
yes.
And there's a whole bunch of, it's kind of a new housing.
Right,
There's
correct.
there's a lot of new housing developments, and I was actually quite surprised at the traffic that utilizes that road.
What is the width of that road right now?
18 foot.
18.
Foot. It's very narrow. We did have a run off the road accident about 3 years ago. Nobody was injured, seriously injured, but it isn't the safest corridor, and there is a lot of traffic out there, so.
Yeah, a few weeks ago, you closed that, or we had some, I see it's all, you can't get through there.
Ventura is doing their portion. Right now, Ventura is working on the underground work, and they're scheduled to have I believe it's First Street in Ventura, and they're trying to have their portion of that road done by June, so we could come in and then do our portion and still have a means of egress for the public. So. With that, I have the 2 purchase agreements, one for Thomas Bonacki in the amount of $4,227.76, and then Marcus Sheeny, the total amount, including the fence and the right-of-way, would be $7,189.11. And we base these values off of, we get the Iowa land sales report. We looked at, in the recorder's office, for some current land sales that were comparable, and then there's Iowa State University puts out a publication of the average land sales by regions, like the North Central regions. So between those 3 different documents, we feel we are paying a fair price, plus they are, that Bonacki parcel is a triangular piece, so he is losing some of the usefulness of that parcel on the west side because it's a triangular piece, so there's damages per se for that. So
I'd make a motion to approve the sale of the 2 right-of-way proposals Mary brought and authorized the chairman.
Okay,
Okay, I'll second that.
okay. We got a motion and second to authorize the chair to sign the
Sale by
same.
the only person.
Okay. To sign the agreement on the purchase of ground for Benanke and Young at the amounts that were presented. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Anything else for us today, Mary?
I do have one more thing. My foreman brought this to my attention right before I was getting ready to come up here, and it's on 230th Street. There is a gentleman, you'll see that box right there. It looks like he's poured a concrete foundation. I don't know if he's getting ready to set lighting there or what, but I will be sending him a letter. I tried contacting him by phone, he wasn't available. I left a message for him to return my call before he gets too much money invested in this, but it looks like he's ran some electrical conduit up out of the ground, and it looks like it's maybe only 6 foot off the edge of the road.
Okay.
So I will be contacting him to try to get this corrected
Okay.
Yeah.
before it becomes a serious problem.
Yep.
Oh, nice having a same-day photograph.
Well, Keith brought it to my attention, and I thought, well, I'll let you guys know in case you get a phone call about it. So that's all I have.
Okay. Is there anything else for Mary? Okay, thank you, Mary.
Thank you.
Moving on to item B, county auditor's business. Claims.
Got the claims for your consideration this morning.
This time I'd make a motion to accept and authorize the chairman's signature on the claims presented this morning.
That's second.
Okay, we got a motion second to authorize the chair to sign the claims as presented this morning. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Item number 2, payroll.
I have 2 payroll forms for you. One is for a new employee, Brandon Nicholson, in the sheriff's department. He's replacing somebody who has resigned. Because Brandon is a new employee, that payroll change needs to be approved by resolution.
I move resolution 2012-37.
I'll second said
There.
resolution number 37. for
Okay.
the new employee in the sheriff's department.
We got a motion and second to do resolution 2012, number 37. Outside of my phone, is there any other discussion?
At our meetings, if somebody's cell phone goes off, you have to buy a round for everybody.
Round to what?
Their choice.
Oh,
Crown Royal in my case.
Crown Royal in your case, okay. Is there any other discussion on resolution 2012, number 37? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed, motion carried.
The other payroll change that we've got can be coupled with the appointment. That's also on the agenda.
Good morning, gentlemen. I've appointed Rebecca Kierketter as the deputy auditor who will replace Denise when she vacates that position. The appointment is effective May 1st. There'll be an overlap, as we discussed at the budget hearing time. For training, Denise is currently the first deputy in the office, and that's a massive set of responsibilities and experience, quite frankly, that take some time to replace. So, the acknowledgement basically asks you to acknowledge that appointment formally in a public meeting. Becky is currently a clerk in the recorder's office. If you have an opportunity, I encourage you to congratulate her. I think she's a good fit for the office. I think she'll be a good fit for that position.
Okay.
Okay,
Motion to accept.
Okay, I'll second.
okay, we got a motion and a second to accept Deb Kierketter as new assistant deputy. Is that what you call it?
Deputy auditor.
Deputy auditor. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye, opposed, motion carried. Anything else for payroll?
Sandy, is there a resolution specific to that, or is that
Yes.
covered in the first one?
No, the resolution is for the new employee,
Okay.
Brandon, and this motion is intended to acknowledge the appointment
Right.
and also approve the payroll change.
Right.
And that a motion will be accepted for
All right,
that.
thanks.
No other.
Okay, drainage.
One drainage item. This is a resolution to assess Drainage District 62 in the amount of $1,500.
Okay, and that would so be resolution number 38.
Okay,
I would so move.
okay, and I'll second resolution 2012, number 38. We have motion second to resolution 2012-38. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Reference where 62 is. North.
Number 4, have we done that? Acknowledge the new deputy.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, number 5 is beer permit for Pine Creek Golf Course.
It's before you, and it's all in order.
All right, I'd make a motion to approve the beer permit for Pine Creek.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion second to approve a beer permit for Pine Tree Golf Course, Pine Creek, excuse me. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. We have done number 6 too.
Yes,
Okay, is there anything else in the auditor's office?
No.
Okay, moving on to item C, county treasurer. Motion to abate second half taxes in the amount of $41 on the mobile home.
This mobile home is taxed as real estate in the county assessor's office. Junk-in certificate does override taxes, but I do need to have your approval for it, and then I'll have to come back after July 1st with the new certification for those to be abated also.
Okay,
Motion to abate the $41.
And I'll second that.
okay, we have a motion second to abate the $41 on the mobile home.
The next one is just Sorry.
We got a vote. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, Pat.
Sorry, Gracious Estates has had problems. They had a manager out there that was selling mobile homes without titles, which is illegal. And that manager is no longer there, but we have a number of problems in getting these cleaned up. So we are being quite creative, including going through the court system on some of these. This one, people are not allowed, once it goes to tax sale, to make partial payments. We are asking the board to abate the tax sale. It's a Saragordo County tax sale. And then that will allow this customer to make weekly payments until he can get it paid in full, to also abate all of the interest and cost. And he will then transfer the title into his name. So that's the only one at this point from you that I'm asking for you to approve.
Okay. You worked this program?
I have. I don't know any other way on this one. We are in touch with the deceased person's name, somebody's relative, and wanting them to get in here to take ownership of the title. Once that's done, then that's gonna be our biggest issue, but we're working on it.
Okay.
I would so move in favor to accept the tax proposal compromise presented on behalf of the Treasurer's Office.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion second to approve the tax compromise that Pat's worked out with this particular parcel.
Thank you.
Is there any discussion? All those in favor of said motion say aye.
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 Aye. Motion carried. Thank you, Pat. I know these are, it can be real difficult
Small
sometimes.
but important.
And, yeah, and something needs to be done to keep them so they get paid. Okay, is there anything else for the treasurer?
No.
Okay. Moving on to item D. Authorize the chair to sign the Burn Justice Assistance Grant Program. Sheriff Pels couldn't be here this morning. He asked me if I would speak on his behalf. This is a grant that we've been getting for years. How much is it? What do you, $89,930, it looks like. I'll take it back. It's $139,184. It's about $40,000 less than last year. But at this time, we have to accept that, and we'll be able to use the money.
Motion to accept, Mr. Chairman.
Okay?
And I'll second that.
Okay, we got a motion second to accept the grant from the Burn Justice Assistance Grant Program. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor of said motion say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Moving on to item D, resolution fixing date for meeting for the proposal to enter into a development agreement with Mason City Red Power. Tom, would you like to speak about this?
Yeah, it's part of the process for the urban renewal plan for the corridor area west of Mason City limits. The next step is a development agreement with Red Power. I've been working with the Allers Law Firm since probably early February on developing that agreement, and it's now in a form which supervisors can proceed with the help of the Allers firm. I've negotiated certain terms with Red Power in that development agreement. They'll have a $1.7 million investment in the building out there with a completion date by December 31 of this year for the assessment year, January 1 of 2013. It's for a 100% rebate, excluding the amounts paid in taxes for debt service and school physical plant and equipment levy for the first 3 years, as long as they maintain 20 full-time employees. a 75% rebate the fourth year. If they have 26 full-time employees, 50% the fifth year. If they have 26 full-time employees, and 25% the sixth year. If they have 26 full-time employees, they would receive a prorated rebate in those final 3 years if they employ less than 26 but more than 23 employees. Total rebates under the proposed agreement cannot exceed $200,000 in the aggregate. First rebate would be made June 1st of 2015, with the final one being made June 1st of 2020. Red Power is required to make an annual certification on the number of employees on November 1st of each year, showing a monthly average for the preceding 11 months in order to be eligible for the rebates. So the action today is to adopt a resolution setting the hearing date for April 10th at 10 a.m. On the development agreement with Red Power. The agreement will be placed on file for public inspection for anyone who's interested in taking a look at it.
Okay. Is there anything for Tom? Any questions for Tom?
Other than, what was it, Tom? More than you thought, less than you thought? I mean, it's
More than I thought,
more-
definitely.
Well, it's
Yeah,
a first time deal.
Yeah,
That goes with.
it's definitely an involved process.
It's been an
Thank you
interesting
for-
process.
Yes.
And
Due
kind of a fun
diligence.
process to go through.
Tom, can I ask, are they, I believe you originally asked me once about getting a road estimate. They're not planning on building a road,
No,
a frontage road at this time, right?
no, not at this time.
I was just thinking of RISE funding
No.
okay.
What is your wishes, Pete?
Chairman, I move resolution 2012-38, fixing the date of April 10th, 10 a.m. for the hearing on the development agreement with Red Power.
Yeah, I think we've used 38, we need to do 39.
You're probably right.
Okay. And I'll second resolution 2012 number 39. Okay, we got the resolution number 39 for fixing the date of the public hearing for Red Power. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Now we get to go to some of the fun things, the dreaded dock permits. Do we have any yet?
There are none yet.
Well, good. We'll be looking forward to them. Moving on to item G, agreements and contracts. Hearing none, we'll move on to appointments.
No, sir.
Correspondence and communications. Okay. The last item on the agenda is adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
Okay, I'll second it.
Okay, we got a motion second to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. If my phone goes off another 2 or 3 more times, I'll probably do that. Fine.
2 or 3 more, everybody will have to get a cab right home.
So I just had like 3 or 4 drinks.
Good, Tom.
It's 1 round per call.
Oh!
Yeah.